Right. Let me pause this real quick. Angry Bears Fan Podcast, episode 45 now. 5 away from 50. Getting there. Um, Fields is back. Bulls are in disarray. Otani to the Cubs.
Yeah, that's looking that
And
way.
Bedard is balling. Looks like is advertised. But like, follow, subscribe, all that good junk for us, please. And I guess obviously we'll start off with the Bears since it is an Angry Bears Fan Podcast. Justin Fields will be playing on Sunday.
And he's gonna have a healthy offensive line as well, a fully healthy offensive line. Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, and oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Braxton Jones.
Darnell
Oh, darn
Wright.
right.
Yeah. Lucas Patrick playing center. I mean, Lucas Patrick is terrible. They really need a center in the offseason. I don't know how they're gonna get one, but they really need one. That's the weakest spot on their offensive
I know
line.
he got hurt, so I guess it's gonna move. But that kid from Minnesota was there for us to get.
I'm
He's
kind
the
of
best guy.
surprised. I'm kind of surprised that they're moving Tevin back to left. He's been playing so well at the right guard spot. You would think that maybe they would move Davis over to the left guard spot because Tevin and Darnell Wright have been holding up the right side of that offensive line for the last couple of weeks. Um, Braxton Jones, um,
Played well, but
yeah, he didn't have any, stupid penalties or anything like that, but his pass block rate is like 85.6 or something like that. It's like sixth amongst all tackles in the league. Um, so he may, if he can cut down on the penalties, Ryan Poles may have found a gem in the fifth round, sixth round with him, and they might not have to use a high draft pick for a tackle if he continues to improve. The offense is going to get a little bit healthier. I think the only person right now that's ruled out, and it's not even like out, and that's Tremaine Edmonds. He's the only one that did not participate in today's practice, besides Mercedes Lewis. But Mercedes Lewis was like a rest candidate, veteran day for him. So he was the only one that didn't. Terrell Smith is back from mono. Khalil Herbert was activated off the IR, so he's got that 21-day window, but he's been participating in practice. He looks like he's ready to go. They did release De'Arrington Evans today. I'm assuming to make a roster spot for Khalil Herbert. So Justin Fields going into Ford Field against the Detroit Lions. That was my pick for the NFC North in terms of division winners. This could potentially be a trap game for Detroit, um, but
definitely.
their coach, man, Dan Campbell, I know he's going to have these guys ready to play. He's I never thought I'd say that I was jealous of the Detroit Lions for who their head coach is. I wish Dan Campbell was the coach of the Chicago Bears. Um,
I think that's
but
why you favor Ben Johnson so much because you think Ben Johnson's going to bring that energy. I just don't, I'm sure he'll try, but Dan Campbell
but
is like you're
the
saying, he's a special guy, and I do agree with you. Like I am jealous because he's a culture guy, not an X and O's guy. He's not some coordinator genius who had a top three offense or defense when everyone's like he's just like a leader, and I think that's what the Bears need right now. Like
well, and
somebody
that's
who's
another
gonna like
thing.
give this franchise some direction and some energy.
This game on Sunday, Detroit is a very high-powered offense. We all know what they can do on offense, but their defense can be had. They've given up over
Fields
30
does good
points a
against them
game.
too.
Yeah, they've been giving up over 30 points a game the last several games in a row here. Our defense has been very stout. They've been very good. I'm really excited to have Terrell Smith back. I thought he was a very, very, very great draft pick in the fifth round. He was playing better than Tyreek Stevenson was, and Tyreek Stevenson was a second round pick. So with him and Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon all back, Kyler Gordon is an amazing slot corner. Jaquan Brisker has to tackle. Eddie Jackson won't be a Bear next year. He'll be a cut candidate. Same thing with Cody Whitehair. They benched Cody Whitehair. So that's going to save us $23 million in cap space right there, just getting rid of those two guys off the roster.
Yeah,
There's still going to be some holes to fill. They do need another edge rusher opposite of Montez Sweat. The Montez Sweat effect is real, by the way. For everybody that was bitching and moaning about why the Bears would give up a second round draft pick for Montez Sweat, one, he was never going to hit free agency. They were going to franchise him. They were going to work out a long-term deal. He was going to
or
go to
trade him,
Atlanta.
franchise him to trade him, or
Yeah,
however.
they had a deal to send him to Atlanta. The Bears swooped in last minute with a higher draft pick. They ended up getting him. They signed him to that extension, and that's the reason why. When you have 6 quarterback pressures and you have a sack and you're able to get everybody else, sacks around you. Bears had 3 sacks. Granted, it was against Carolina, and that was a really shitty game, 16-13 win last Thursday. It was one of the most boring football games I have ever watched. I almost fell asleep during it. That's how bad it was. But I'm really hoping that Justin can go into Detroit, maybe pull off an upset. I think Detroit's favored by 9 or 9.5 points right now.
I
Um,
would take those points.
I would take the over as well. If you're gonna bet
Hmm.
this game, I would take the
I bet
Bears
you it's
plus.
like 47 if I had to guess right now, or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that. And I
something like
definitely
that.
there's going to be 50 points in this game.
Yeah, I would take the over in this game. Detroit's defense is not very good. Granted, the Bears' offense isn't, like firepower or anything
No,
like that. But DJ Moore should get some touches with Justin Fields back in the lineup. He throws a better deep ball. Hopefully, Darnell Mooney can keep up the momentum he's had for the last couple of weeks. If you take a look at any of the practice tape that they've been using this past week or whatever with Justin openly admitted that he actually did learn a few things from watching Tyson
I'm
Bagent
sure.
film. One of them was a faster drop back. So if you take a look in comparison from Justin Fields' rookie year to what it's been this year, his drop back is very, very, very slow. And I think that throws off a lot of those timing plays, a lot of those rhythm throws. When you don't have your feet set at the time your wide receiver is going to hit that spot, that's going to mess up a lot of things. So watching Tyson Bagent get that drop back very quickly, Justin Fields picked up on that. I saw some tape from practice. He looks like it's a quicker drop back. Let's see if that translates to the game. He's got to start throwing the ball over the middle of the field more. Justin Fields does not throw the ball in the middle of the field. And that's where a lot of those guys like Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, that's where they eat, man.
Yeah.
And
I think
just
it's
beat
always a
them.
little late on those throws. I just, like, I know I'm a Justin Fields apologist, but I always say there's room to grow, and I'm slowly coming off the he's going to be an MVP and you know what I mean, an all-time great player, but in reality, like some of the best teams you don't have your quarterback has to be good, but it don't got to be your best player or even your second best player. Like, and I think if we like do what's best for him, there's shit to go. But I'm glad to hear that like, oh, there's something from him to learn to sitting behind Bajent and I mean feeling a little bit of pressure and like it is good to hold the clipboard, call some plays, pick
Well,
his
that's the thing is
brain.
that I think Justin knows he's got all the talent in the world,
Yeah.
but I think he also knows that Tyson Bagent knows the quarterback position and knows how to play the quarterback position. I have a feeling that when Tyson Bagent's career is done and over with, he's got a future in coaching. He just knows how to play the position.
I agree.
And he has control over the huddle. He has, he's a good leader. Same thing with Justin. The locker room loves Justin Fields,
Yeah.
right? So Justin, these next 7 weeks, he's going to be playing for his Chicago Bears career. However,
That is true.
my whole thing is this. I mean, if Ryan Poles doesn't already know what he's going to do by now, then we're in trouble. It's just one of those things where
I
it's like,
would
okay, you got
guess,
7 weeks,
yeah.
but you have to know whether or not that's your guy right then and there, right? Unless Justin
Right
Fields
now,
goes out and does
no.
something, they go on this magical run like Detroit did last year. Now Justin's just it seems like Justin's playing for auditioning for other teams.
I
Uh,
don't know. I haven't
if
got that vibe yet. I don't know if they're gonna give up on Justin. I guess at this point, I guess it would be the coach's decision, whoever our next coach is gonna be. So I don't think it's in anybody's hands. We might get a coach who says, you know what, I want a good team. So let's keep Justin Fields. We got him for another year at least. And you know what I mean, go from there. Like, and then we can build a good roster. It depends who we get. So I don't think his time is done. I think Poles does have a plan. I think his plan right now is keep Justin Fields unless he breaks my heart these next 7 games. Um, he if he wanted like I guess everybody knew Caleb Williams is coming out next year, but how do you know we're going to be the worst team? So it's like if he really wanted a quarterback and to do what you say, get his own guy, he could have got Stroud or Bryce Young, but he seemed like he want to be trade for picks guy and value guy, and I just think it'll be too tempting not to get. We're going to get like in reality 3 first round picks, may and a player. If we trade back with anybody that's like higher than 3, like if a fucking my hopes is Vegas wants to move up from like 6 and we get Max Crosby in like 2 firsts and pick six or something like that. That's what I would guess, but we'll see. I think it'll be in the coach's hands, whoever it is, and I I'm hoping it's Jim Harbaugh, and I personally think Jim Harbaugh would stick with Justin Fields over going with Caleb Williams. I just really think that. I know that's the Ohio State, blah, blah, you know what I mean? I just think Jim's a second chance type of guy. He's a I'm gonna prove you wrong. I can fix this kid type of guy.
Yeah, but
And
see, with Jim Harbaugh accepting his suspension from the Big Ten and the Big Ten closing that investigation, um, I mean, is the pressure really on Jim Harbaugh to leave Michigan? And then we also have to
no,
consider that Kevin Warren is the president of the Chicago Bears, who was the Big Ten commissioner, and he's had his run-ins with Jim Harbaugh.
yeah,
Do you
came
really?
up.
I mean, and
I don't think
again,
it's been bad, not like this.
but again, all it's the McCaskey family. At the end of the
I
day,
mean,
it is the McCaskey family.
yeah, but
And
they've never really said this, and they like made it kind of clear that they're gonna be like let these guys do their jobs.
yes, but they take extreme pride in
You don't
being
think
a chartered.
McCaskey's would like Harbaugh? I think you saying it's the McCaskey involved would lean more
No,
towards Harbaugh. He's a good old
but it's
boy. His
yes,
dad's
I understand, but
he's got history there. His dad's got history there. Like
they are a chartered franchise and they care very, very, very deeply about their, about how they're perceived. They care about their
you don't think
persona.
they take Belichick?
No, I don't think so.
I think they
I
100%
really
would.
don't.
I think
I
Poles might not want to, but I think the McCaskies will want.
I
I don't
really
think.
don't think they
Well, I'm
would.
just saying they closed the investigation. Again, this isn't a Michigan thing, but like it's already like Jim didn't. Obviously, he's the head coach, so he takes the fall in the end. But it's like it's already came out. Like not this, not something that he organized.
Oh, he
Like
knew about it.
I don't know. He definitely did. I
Oh,
don't think he knew about it.
there's
I don't
no
think he knew
doubt.
about it. I don't think he
There's
sent
no
the
doubt.
guy out. That would just be stupid. That would be so
Okay, but
idiotic.
okay, if you didn't know about it and you're the head coach, that's probably
Didn't
just
know
as
some
bad.
guy on your staff was doing that. Like I don't know. I
It's
just think
just as bad.
well, possibly I could say, but again, that's Michigan's got a huge fucking staff and a lot of moving parts. They got
So does the
oh
NFL.
no, but what these guys he got like 100 kids on the roster who you got to worry about their grades. You gotta it's just I think it's more like a lot's going on in the NFL. I don't think it is as hands on as you are as the head coach or like the head coach of a fucking like you're like the dad when you're the head coach of a football team in college. I don't think it's that way in the NFL. And I'm not saying I do. That's why I agree with the suspension. He should know. If he doesn't know, that's a problem too. But from the investigation they did, they would have loved to have been like, there's some text messages. The guy who got caught would be so famous if he came out and had a text message that said Jim Harbaugh told me to do this. So I just think it was some dude who was like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm a genius. So well, this came out that he had some plan to become like the OC or some shit. Like he was trying to work his way up the Michigan hierarchy.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
And that's what I and that and I will fall back to. Obviously, it's my team, so I'm gonna defend it a little, but that's fucking the nature of all the sport. If anyone thinks that there aren't fucking 30 other college teams doing something like that, they're fucking idiots. Like they got caught, sure, that sucks, and that's why Jim had to take the fall. But I think obviously that's going on, and I don't think Jim Harbaugh, some guy getting caught fucking buying tickets to potentially steal signs is going to stop Jim Harbaugh from being the most fucking wanted coach out there this upcoming offseason. If he leaves or not. I just think they put a little pressure on him and they kind of pissed him off. For
All right.
which I
So
don't know why.
in your opinion, with this game coming up, what do the Bears need to do to come out of Ford Field, come out of Detroit with a win?
Montez Sweat, like you said, that's six pressures. We're gonna need 6 to 10 of those. Golf can be razzled and frazzled if you get to him. The rest of the D line's got to work with them, but we got a nice little rotation going him, and like he's got to lead the charge. Sanborn and all those guys need to keep up doing what they're doing. Though we've been great shutting the run down, and I think Justin needs to pick up where he left off. I mean, I know it wasn't the game he got hurt; it wasn't the best, but he was balling. Keep attacking down the field. The DJ Moore, Mooney's getting, you know what I mean, getting his stride. Komet is turned out even better than I think we imagined, even though we all thought he was going to be a quality tight end and have a long career in the I think he's getting better and better as the season goes on. And I hope we keep giving it to Foreman. I know Khalil Herbert's back. I like him too. We work him back in there somehow, but Foreman's been rolling, and the O line's at full strength. Um,
Foreman's been dealing with an ankle injury too.
so we'll see how it goes. We just injuries have been the story of the year. I mean, I didn't have high hopes, like we were going to win the Super Bowl or anything, but I just think they need to pick up where they left off. Justin keep doing what he was doing, and like you said, take into account faster drop back, limit the turnovers. You know what I mean, and the sacks, and he could stay in Chicago. Like I just think that's the best play. So I want to see that. Joe Burrow did not come back.
I mean, right now they're at 3 wins. 7 games left in the season. Week 13 coming up is going to be their bye week. What is your realistic expectations now in terms of win-loss record?
Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the rest of the schedule. I know
You
it's
got
easy.
you got Detroit twice, you got Green Bay, you got Minnesota. That's 4 out of your 6, and then you got Arizona and Atlanta.
All winnable games. I think. Whew, I think we should get 4 out of those 7.
4 out of
Um,
the 7, so that would put
if
us at
Justin
7 and
Fields
10.
wants to be if Justin Fields wants to be the quarterback of the future, we have to win 4 of these 7. And we need to see some winning. I'll make a lot of excuses, and I know it's a team game, but at some point, you know what I mean. He has to get some wins. He has to figure it out. He has to beat some of these bad teams. I'm fine. You know what I mean. Our quarterback is a. That's why I'm so big on Caleb Williams and some of these college quarterbacks because they're playing bad. Not you know what I mean. Not horrible teams, but like not team like you should be hulking up. You should be the deciding factor. And in a game against the Vikings, Justin Fields is the X factor. We could beat them if he plays good. You know what I mean? Like some teams, it don't matter. Justin Fields can play good against the Lions, and honestly, the way they've been playing, we'll still lose the fucking game. He's played very good against them the last 3 or 4 times we played him, or 2 or 3, I think he's played. You know what I mean? Over 100 yards rushing, a lot of passing yards. You know what I mean? He played well against them. Um, but yeah, he needs to show that he can be an X factor in some of these games and create some wins. Because if he's just going to be a game manager, then we can move on. I just ideally, I just don't think that's smart for us. But we need to, like I said, 4 of these, we got to beat the Packers. We have to beat the Packers. We cannot lose that game. They embarrassed us week 1, and I just think that ruined our season. I think that happens to us too much. I hate that the NFL always schedules us against the Packers week 1. We play them like shit week 1, or they come back. But I think that game really got our season off on a bad foot, and I think if we would have played somebody different or we would have played better in that game, I think we wouldn't be having such a down year. And so we have to get that win back because the Packers have shown they're not good. Jordan Love was the best game he's played in his whole career was that week 1 game against the fucking Bears. So
Yeah, Jordan Love is ass, dude.
yes,
He's so bad.
and we made
Oh
him
my
look like a
God, he's
fucking
so bad.
superhero. But the defense has been better. Eberflus, I mean, he's trying to keep his job. I just can't envision any way he does unless we like win the rest of these games and somehow win the division or something like that. I just can't envision he's the coach next year
Well,
unless
I mean, realistically, when you look at it, it's say by small miracle, some small miracle, the Bears pull a Detroit Lions and they win out for the remainder of the season. It's following the Dan Campbell trajectory. Dan Campbell, his first year and a half was god awful. Like his coaching record was just horrible, and then all of a sudden they, roll off 8 wins straight or whatever to end last season, and they roll into this year. I think that's the only thing that saves Eberflus's job. I don't see it happening,
I don't
but
either.
I mean
I would love
it's
that to happen,
possible.
but
It's possible. Detroit had a little bit more going for them last year. Their offense was, pretty potent last year, and that's, they finally got their defense ashore. But you brought up the Bulls earlier.
hmm.
Oh man, how times have changed. Zach
Did you
Levine is
see
the
that
bitch.
game winning shot Paulo hit
Yeah.
was a travel though?
Oh,
I
it
didn't know,
was.
honestly don't remember. I was watching the other game. I didn't even think that.
Um, Zach Levine is a bitch. Um, Patrick Williams is god awful. Oh my god.
That
Oh
it's
my
funny you
god.
said that. My notes say that. He doesn't say
Oh my
Levine's a bitch. I just
god.
said Levine's sucks. Pat Will's trash. Pat
Like,
Will, he dribbled the ball. Like, did you see the end of the game?
yes.
It,
Uh
to this day, like I said, we talked about this a year ago when we started this. That I cannot believe that they passed up Jeremiah Grant for Pat Williams. Like Jeremiah Grant's a 20 and 5 guy. Lock it in, and he can shoot, and he's a you know what I mean, like okay defender, halfway decent rebounder, and it's like Pat Will is trash. Has he scored more than 10 points yet? this year?
I don't even know if he scored 10 points the whole year.
It might not. That's what I'm saying. What do they play? Seven
Like
games now?
legitimately,
Nine
I
games?
don't know. And it's so frustrating to watch this team. And
They have
it
no
has
point
to
guard.
come back on ownership in AK. You cannot put this product out and expect us fans to want to sit there and watch it. Zach LaVine wants out. The Bulls want him out. And you know what? Good riddance. I mean, you're I don't know what you're gonna get in return for Zach LaVine now.
Nothing.
You'll be lucky to get a first round pick for him. You're gonna have to have salaries that match, and you
Yes.
maxed him out. He's a max player, and he didn't deserve that contract to begin with. I guess the Lakers are gonna try to make a big push for him.
It fucking
Maybe the Knicks. I
sucks.
don't know.
If
Uh,
I was the Bulls, I would hope it's the Knicks because maybe get RJ Barrett. I think he's still young and got some potential, two-way player. Um, I've been seeing Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, and Duncan Robinson. I think that's also a good deal for Zach LaVine and somebody. I don't know, I forgot who it was. Delon Terry, I think. Um,
Give
I
him
think that's
Patrick
a good
Williams
deal.
too.
Somebody, nobody wants that
Trade
man. He's
Patrick
terrible.
Williams for like a fucking ice bath.
But I think that's a decent deal. Tyler Hero's like Zach LaVine light. Um, and Duncan
They
Robinson's a shooter.
they need
Bulls need
shooting,
shooting.
man.
Yes, Duncan Robinson's a
Their
shooter.
3-point shooting, their starting five, their 3-point shooting is absolutely abysmal. I think they average like 32%, maybe less
The
than that from
Bulls are
three
it's
from their
terrible to
starting.
watch. I watch a lot of Bulls games and
It's so
the pro
bad.
like you said earlier, the product is god awful. It's really disrespectful to the so one of the best fan bases in all sports. And yeah, I don't know
What
like what the hell are they gonna get? The only thing I can think is like maybe they can get all the stuff the Clippers gave up to Philly. Maybe they can get that for Harden. And like I said, the Heat deal. They said the Lakers. What's that going to be like? D'Angelo Russell and some first round picks 2 years from now. Like,
hopefully after LeBron retires.
like I don't know.
That's the only way. That's the only return I'd want from the Lakers
If
is
the
first
long
round
shot,
picks after LeBron
Hell Mary,
retires.
I would if I was the Bulls, I'd go after Zion or something and be like, hey, he wants out of there. You want him out of something and give up like Levine, like you said, P. Will,
Yeah, I
maybe.
would do Levine and P. Will. I would do Levine for Zion straight up. But if they
Well, then
want Patrick
that's what I'm saying.
Williams,
P. Will, whoever you got
buy
to go. Kobe White, you can have him too.
you can have them all. You give them all. Give them everybody.
The Bulls.
It'll be one
This
v
this
five.
is the Bulls' problem too. They never go full rebuild. They never
And
just go all in. And it's like at some point in the NBA they shown you it kind of got to. It worked for the Kings. It took a
well,
while.
what they need to do is they need to take a
OKC.
page. Every single Chicago team needs to take note on what's happening on the north side, what the Cubs are doing because they are cooking. Craig Counsell, that was a great get for them to be their manager. I mean, I don't know how they did it.
I don't think they're
They
gonna get
offered
Shohei,
Craig
but
Counsell.
maybe.
They gave Craig Counsell a lot of money. They're aggressively pursuing Shohei Ohtani, and we talked about this. That contract is going to pay for itself. It doesn't matter. They should just hand him a blank check. It doesn't matter how much you pay Shohei Ohtani.
He's the
You're
type of
gonna
guy
get it.
like you want to some portion of the team. You want to cut in the like
It's
well,
something because the Japanese fan base that you're going to get tuning into your
showing up
television for your
too.
advertisers are going to be
Everybody when they come
absolutely
to yeah.
ridiculous. And then on top of that, think about what you can get, like because the Cubs have their own like streaming service for their games, right? Imagine Shohei Ohtani on that team and selling that streaming service over to Japan. That's $10 a month for a billion Japanese people that are going to want to
Yeah, I
tune
was
in and
just reading.
watch.
He bought a whole grade school glove.
Yeah, like that.
That's crazy. I like. He seems. I honestly, I hope the Cubs get. I don't like the Cubs. I hope they lose, but it's good for the city of Chicago if Shohei shows up here.
Well, it
Um,
is, and that's the thing is it's frustrating for us Sox fans because Jerry Reinsdorf's a
we'll
fucking
never
old
get a free agent
fuck.
like that until he's fucking 40 years old.
They had the perfect opportunity. So they had one. They made Chris Getz their general manager. Fucking baffling to say. We talked about it when it happened. I hated the decision. It's a horrible decision. You literally you're not changing anything. Literally not changing anything. It's the same fucking shit. And then Kim Yu or whatever her name is, that got released or whatever. She asked for her release from the Florida Marlins. because they were going to put a position up of like over her, and she's the one that has built that team to be playoff contenders on the budget that she did. She's an amazing executive who has a history with working with what her first job. Jerry Reinsdorf gave her her first fucking job in the major leagues back in like 1992, and she's turned into one of the best executives in baseball. And hey, guess what? Kenny's position's open. There's a president of baseball operations, spot available for the White Sox. You have previous history. Why wouldn't you extend that olive branch out? Jerry likes bringing back old fucking people that used to work for him. I mean, fuck, he brought back old fuck, to be the manager 60 years fucking later. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And
I know.
instead, Jerry's like, nah, I'm good. Like, it's
He's
shit like
so
that.
lackadaisical with the White Sox. It's weird. Like I don't get it because I'm assuming at some point he's starting to lose money. Like we're not doing well. Like they haven't been sold tickets in years. They have a
It's
nice year of ticket
embarrassing.
sales every like
It's
5 years.
it's embarrassing when you are in the third largest market in the United States and you tune on the television to put on a White Sox game and there's 15 fucking people in that building.
Yeah,
That's all there is. There's 15 people in the stands and you're looking at it like, how is this possible?
and all you got to
You
do is
want
spend a little bit of money.
like just make the team exciting to watch. It's a testament to Luis Robert. Luis Robert played on a 101 loss team and he got MVP votes. Are you really going to let that man's career, like you're literally, it's like Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in fucking Los Angeles. Like you're wasting
Well, at
somebody's
least in Los
career.
Angeles, though, they go out and make moves every year, like and add
Yeah,
somebody
they
to the team.
try.
Yes, the White Sox do not try. They did the rebuild with Chris Sale, and it kind of worked out. We had a nice, lot of fun young players, and they picked the wrong coach, first of all, and then they never really made any good mid-season deals or anything like that to put them over the top, and to move on from guys when it kind of was done. Like should have maybe moved on from Grandal when he was hot. Some of these guys are hot. And we wrote it to Tim Anderson when he was hot. Maybe we should have got rid of him if that's what we were going to do. It's just like we didn't capitalize on any of that, and
Yeah,
now
and
we're
now they're
dumpster
not
fire.
getting anything. Now
Yeah,
they're not getting anything from Tim Anderson. They let him go.
yeah.
If you were gonna let him go, why wouldn't you try to fucking trade him?
For anything,
Like,
yeah. If you knew all along, you weren't. Yeah, it's like,
I don't.
oh,
It's mind boggling to me what. And I mean, it's the same owner with the Bulls and the White Sox. It really is. I mean, you look no further than the tippy top, and you take a look at how Tom Ricketts runs his team, as opposed to how Jerry Reinsdorf or the McCaskies are running the Bears. There's a big difference. Tom Ricketts has a fucking a paybook, and he's opening up his checkbook right now, and he's saying, "Do whatever we have to do to win." That's how every single owner in Chicago should be. You are in the third largest market in the United States, sports market. Us Chicagoans, we love our sports. We love our Bears. We love our White Sox. We love our Cubs. We love our Blackhawks. Whatever the case may be, we
whoever it
love
is, yeah,
that
you're
team.
right.
We will
Don't matter.
support that team. But you have to show us that you have some kind of interest in giving us a product that we would enjoy watching. And they just don't.
I think his hold on the Bulls fan base is starting to fade. I think that Michael Jordan magic lasted 30 years, and it's gonna fade because like it is just it is the bull. Like I don't know what they were thinking in the offseason to think like we're just gonna run this team back after we watched them fucking crash and burn last year. They have no chemistry. Sometimes they play with a little energy when Caruso's cooking, but he's probably gonna be gone. Everybody wants him. That was like the only good signing, you know what I mean, looking back in hindsight that AK made. And yeah, it's just like where do you go from here? It's like there's nothing to get from Levine at this point in the season. Like you're hoping some disgruntled young players from somewhere. I can't really, like I said, my head, I guess RJ Barrett, somebody like that, but like they're about to take a huge step back, and it's like they never seem to tank enough to get one of the two best guys in the draft.
You're 12 games into a season and you're already admitting, okay, we fucked up.
Yeah,
Season's
that's
over.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like we could have fucking did this. We all knew, everybody knew this in the offseason that we had to get rid of Zach
Yep.
and just
It's
roll the
embarrassing.
dice. And if you would have got some bullshit, some young players and some picks, at least would have had like everybody would have known. Now that's like the whole season's wasted. The roster makes no sense. There's not a single good young player to be optimistic for in the future. I mean, it's like everybody like Zach LaVine is peaked, Pat Will sucks, Kobe White is a six man, like Vooch is a top 10 center in the NBA, but you know what I mean? No, he's not tilting the scales anywhere. Like he's
No.
just gonna go out there and get you 18 and 9 and
And
he's gonna
DeMar's old. I mean,
DeMar's
that
old. Yeah, I mean he's and his those middies aren't falling like they used to. I mean his career's over. I think he got maybe one more year in him, maybe two if he wants to ride the bench somewhere. But I think this will be DeMar's based on the way. Like I said, I've probably watched. They've played 12 games. I probably watched 10 of them, and probably 80% of it. And he just looks old out there. And they don't play defense. The coaching is terrible. I cannot believe uh, for the life of me, why they extended Billy Donovan. I understand why they did it in secret now. Um,
yeah,
but I just what is he doing for us? Like, what is he getting? Like, the offense isn't good. The defense isn't good. Like, we could go with anybody with that, paying for a lot less than Billy, like what you extended Billy Donovan for. It's like, I don't know. The way Jerry moves is like some people got like dirt on him. Like, he has to keep him to the like till they've literally been like, all right, you're just trash. Nobody can be mad if I fired you after this. Like, that's basically how he does business. He like will let you fucking do a bad job for 5 years straight, and then be like, okay, you couldn't turn it around. All right, Kenny. He ruined the White Sox, and the GMs of the Bulls like just can't figure it out, and I don't get it because I know for a fact I know like the weather isn't what people like, but I know people want to put on that Bulls jersey. I know for a fact players want to come play and put on that Bulls jersey and you know what I mean, try and fucking win some championships for the Bulls, and they can't sell that. That's fucking hard. Like that's just terrible. Like I feel like you get me in the room with some of these NBA players, and you're like, all right, pitch me on being on the Bulls. I could sway a handful of them, but like, yeah, it's just Jerry just needs to. I don't know what. Like Jerry just doesn't care anymore. I think he got
yeah.
blessed with Michael Jordan, and he basically made him a bajillionaire with really no work of his own. He just got like, you know what I mean? Like he got blessed to fucking draft Black Jesus, and it made him so much money and built so much notoriety for the franchise that he never had to do anything. The Bulls sell out every game for the last our entire life. They haven't not sold out a game, and they've sucked for the last ever since Michael Jordan left
Yeah,
in
it's been
fucking
bad.
1997, and they still sell out every game. And Jerry, like I said, it's just a joke. Like, how are we not getting these free agents? Under like or being bad enough to get Zion. Why are we never in the Bulls are never in the hunt for any of these guys who are coming out and are studs. Um, it's like the GMs had they don't have any wherewithal to plan ahead and be like, all right, this year Zion's coming out. This is the year we kind of tank.
No, they just plan on mediocrity. I mean, we
Yes,
had Derrick Rose, you know, and that's just another tragic,
yeah.
where
That was a
we
freak accident, and like again, they get that wasn't a good move by them. That fell in their lap. The fucking best player in the draft, who was from Chicago, that wasn't some fucking who was you know what I mean. The kid was a stud. Like it wasn't like oh my god, they found this gem in the draft. They
a
picked him.
1.3% chance of winning the lottery. They just
Yeah,
so happened to win the lottery that
yeah.
year.
So it's like that
Wink,
had nothing to
wink.
do with yeah exactly that had nothing to do with them. That guy. So it's like the Bulls have not like even the Boozer thing wasn't the right deal. Honestly,
Oh
Gasol, who I
God,
like, wasn't a good deal. Like I like Gasol too, and it's like it wasn't a championship move. They always
they
get
should have done everything they could to get Zebo from Memphis when they
the
had Derrick
the
Rose.
problem. Honestly, they should have never let LeBron go to fucking Miami. That
Yeah,
was the problem. That's where they fucked up. I really think. I mean, he wore 23. He could say all the shit he wants.
I would have literally given LeBron anything he wanted.
Yes,
If you were Chicago,
yes.
you give him anything he wanted to get
Whatever
LeBron,
luxury tax you got to get into,
LeBron and Dwayne Wade because originally it was just going to be those two.
yeah. And say fuck Chris Bosh.
I would have given them the key to every building in the city of Chicago. I would have like
Hired Rich
anything,
Paul. He could have
yeah,
been the new
anything
GM.
you want.
Yeah, like
Could you imagine Joe Kim, LeBron, D Wade, and Derrick Rose?
yeah.
Like,
They would have won. They would have won like five easy. They would have won five in a row because at that point with Joe Kim and Tom Thibodeau and at that they were playing such hard defense that like they
and
wouldn't have been
Luol
able to
Dang.
been beat. Like they would not have been able to be beat.
Oh
It would
my
have been like
God.
the 73 win Warriors. It would have been something like that. And that's where I think like they can like they had to have closed that deal. Like what like you said, whatever it takes.
You
Tell them
could not
whatever
let
it
him
takes.
leave
Yes.
the city of Chicago without signing a contract. Yeah, you just couldn't. You
And
even if he didn't come to Chicago, you don't leave his house. You
yeah,
don't
what
leave
he did
whatever
come.
meeting
He
spot
said
you
he
were at.
said though he said or D Rose didn't come to the meeting or whatever. D Rose supposed to come, he didn't want to come.
I would have grabbed D Rose
That's what I'm
myself.
saying. So I'm saying they just don't have any urgency, and it's why, like you said, mediocrity. The Bulls live in mediocrity when which I don't get because like I'm not an accountant and I'm not a numbers guy, but I just know that like they have to have some kind of fucking algorithm to show if we had a superstar on our team and we made it to the second round of the playoffs every year. It's like I'm not even saying win the championship. That's how like fucking lackadaisical they are, where like our expectations are so low. Like that's when we argue with people about the Bears. It's like they're like, oh, they're talking about. I'm like, can we just fucking make the playoffs? Like, I'm not worried about getting a coach to win the Super Bowl. Like, we're the joke of the NFL. Like, at least when we were growing up, the Bears weren't a fucking joke. We weren't gonna win the Super Bowl, but you came. It was gonna be cold. We're gonna fucking knock your dick in the dirt. And now it's like we're the fucking laughing stock in the NFL, where they just make fun of our quarterback predicament that we've had for the last 40 years. Like, they didn't make fun of it so much when Urlacher was on our team. Like, they just didn't. And now we're the laughing stock. And I think the Bulls are becoming that. Um, and it took so long because Michael Jordan was so great and they had such a long history, but nobody cares anymore. And they can't get free agents. They won't lose enough to get a top 3 draft pick. They damn near trade away most of them anyway. Like in reality, if they were never traded for Boots, they'd have fucking Franz Wagner right now. Like, and he's good. Like they have nobody who's under 25 who's worth a damn.
No.
And Levine's gonna go out the door for some two first. I'm guessing two first round picks in 3 years from now. You know, one's from 3 years from now, one in 2 years from now, and fucking D'Angelo Russell and fucking James Vanderbilt. I don't know. And it's just like they're gonna be a joke again. And then, but somehow, some way, they're gonna win enough games to be in the play in.
Not this year. They
You
won't
don't
do it
think
this
so?
year. They're so garbage, dude.
I
They're
mean, that's
fucking
how they started
bad.
last year, though, right? Didn't they start bad, and then they were almost they made the play in, right?
No, they made the plan, but they were still hovering around 500 at this time. I mean,
I
they're
do
what?
think the one excuse I will give them is the Lonzo thing really, really derailed all of this. And
You
I
still got to
think
have a contingency.
yes,
Like,
I that part where like it's been what 3 years now, like you had to figure something out. Like,
yeah,
but I love the Lonzo Ball signing. I've always liked him, and I do the way they were playing when he was the short amount of time he was on the team. Um, I do think they would have maybe made it out of the first round a couple times. I'm not gonna say they would have won a championship, but they could have been exciting like that. And again, that's all Bulls fans really want. Of course, obviously everybody wants a championship, but if you just put out a good roster, we're gonna play hard, we're gonna make the playoffs, we're not gonna get embarrassed in the playoffs, and then you know what I mean. We'll lick our wounds, try and regroup, and do it again next year. And it's like now it's like oh it's like dreading basketball season because it's like if you're a real fan and you really want to watch the game and like I said, they're my second team. It's like I don't even know how I'm going to keep watching these Bulls games. They're boring, no excitement, no ball movement. They got no point guard. Demar, like I said, is just cooked. Vooch is boring, and Levine is just not him. Like he swears he is, but he's not. And they've given him enough time.
yeah, no, it's bad. But hopefully, like I said, 7 weeks left in the season. Let's see what Justin Fields can do.
Yes,
I am expecting Justin to be efficient. We just need him to be efficient. He doesn't need to blow us out of the water or anything like that. Um,
I
but
disagree.
really
I don't
the
know about
biggest
blow
thing,
us out of the water. I think we need touchdowns. We need points
we
on the
just
board.
need no turnovers. We need
That too.
consistency.
Yeah,
We
but
need consistency at the
yeah.
quarterback position.
To start, but that's not real. Like if Justin's to be our quarterback next year, I think he's going to have to show a little bit of pizzazz. We're going to need some touchdowns. I think they need to open him up in the run game a little bit more. I know I don't want to get him hurt. They need to get in his head. Hey, you need to get down. You need to get out of bounds. But we have to use that. Like it's like fucking. I don't know why they went away from that. That's bad coaching.
Oh,
That's
100%.
just terrible coaching. Like He just rushed for like he would have shattered the record if he didn't get hurt. What he missed 3 games,
Yeah.
and he was like 150 yards short. He was the way he was running, he would have shattered the record. And it's like we're not even gonna do that a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to get him hurt either, and I don't want to see him run for 1,300 yards again either. But he got to be running for like 500 to 750. He got to be getting like 50 yards a game to
Something.
keep him honest. You know what I mean? Mahomes, he don't run for 50, but Mahomes be running for 30 yards a game.
Yep.
And he don't got half the wheels Justin has.
No.
Josh Allen's running a lot. Joe Burrow even he runs a decent amount. The Jalen Hurts, obviously, it's like, why do we stop? Why? Who's got in Justin head? He can't run no more. Like, no, you do that shit. Like, it just
I
protect
agree.
yourself. And I don't know. And I just this is weird thing where like the guy in his head where it's like, oh, we need to see if he can. Yes, I want to see Justin develop, and I hope he's fucking Peyton Manning in the future. But in reality, he may not ever be him. I want to win some games, and like we need to be coaching to the players we got on our team, and like you don't make speed backs be power runners. You know what I mean? You can figure out how we can get Justin better in the pocket and complete some of these third downs, but
Don't
we can
try to
fuck.
force a square peg into a
Yes,
round hole.
exactly. And everyone out knows that. And I don't understand. It's like you're doing every single person a disservice. Fields, yourself as the coach, the ownership, it's like the team trying to be like, all right, we need to prove to everybody that Justin's Joe Burrow. Or Justin's gonna be Josh. You know what I mean? I just think he could be like a poor man's Josh Allen. Like everybody's falling off his hype too. You know what I mean? He throws a lot of interceptions, they lose games. That's what Justin Fields has been doing. He just doesn't have a fucking digs in a top 10 defense.
Their defense hasn't been very good this
Not
year.
this year. Well, they have a lot of injuries. Von Miller, I think Von Miller just came back. I think Tre'Davious White got hurt again. But before we close it out, like I said, Justin, we want to see him ball out these next 7 games. I'm a fan of the guys on our team. If he sucks it up, then yeah, maybe it is time to move on. I just don't think
Welcome to Chicago, Drake May. I'm
yes.
telling
But
you,
I just the like I said, it's gonna be a rebuild. Like we're resetting the rebuild. And I don't want to go back to doing that. Like if we get Drake May at 2, then we're gonna get what attack? I don't know. We're gonna get a D lineman. I don't know. It won't be Marvin Harrison Jr. And
maybe it'll be Bowers.
but maybe, but I don't even think we'll get Bowers the way Komet's been playing. It'll be like some tackle or something. It's like then we got some new rookie guy who might be good, but he ain't gonna go like CJ Stroud's been balling, but I think we all probably they're probably not making the
DJ
playoffs.
Stroud is a unicorn.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. That's not gonna. And even if he plays his best, we know how rookies play. He probably still ain't making the playoffs. He might have some good
I
stats.
don't know. He might. They
I don't
might
think they
make
are.
the playoffs
I
this
don't think
year.
they are. I guess if
Oh,
Joe
dude.
Burrow's really hurt, maybe.
What are they? 5-4 right now?
Yeah,
They're Houston's good.
I don't think they're good. I think that, like I said, he's playing
Houston's
good.
good.
I think they're gonna come back down to reality. This they don't have the players on defense either. They just been playing good.
I'd be willing to bet them at 9 wins right now as a
Yeah, I don't
wild
think
card
nine
team.
gets you in. I don't think
I
nine
think it
gets you
does.
in the
Absolutely.
AFC.
Absolutely.
Who got in at 9 wins in the AFC last year?
Absolutely, it gets you in.
Let's
Look
see.
at the records in the AFC right now.
AFC
It's the AFC
standings.
North. Yeah, it's the AFC North and then everybody else. Legitimately,
Why is it
they're
showing
going
the
to win the
Falcons?
South.
No, they're not. The Jags are. The Jags are 6-3. I don't think they beat the Jags. They play this week too. I think don't they? I don't know. The Jags play
They're
the Colts.
one game behind the Jags,
Yeah,
right?
I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're just not. Everybody in the AFC North is
Like
got
I
a
said,
better
it's the
record, the
AFC
same or
North and then
better.
everybody else.
Chiefs 7-2. The Raiders have the same record as them. Bills same record. Dolphins 1 game above them. It's a lot of teams they're fighting for. They're not winning the division. They're not going to finish with a better record than the Jags. Um, so they're fighting everybody in the AFC North. I don't think 9 wins get you in.
I think
One,
they're
two.
going to get it.
I don't think so. I'm
They'll
not saying they
sneak
still had a
it.
good year. I'm just saying like, and again, that's just not gonna. Like I said, let's say Drake May, C.J. Stroud, we're not making the fucking playoffs. So, and probably not the next year after that. That's why I don't like it. If Justin plays bad, then I can see why we need a quarterback. Honestly, if it was in me, I would just trade back, collect more picks, and then trade up and get Michael Penix Jr. or J.J. McCarthy, somebody in the late first, whoever falls, somebody, even Bo Nix in the second. If that's what you really want to do, and you already saw Bajan is decent, so and then have them compete. But I don't think we should miss the if we get the number 1 pick, miss the fucking opportunity to trade it for franchise changing assets. And I think that's what like even more like DJ Moore. Look how much just him, you know what I mean, changed our team. If we get a fucking Max Crosby or some other like to pair with Sweat or some DT to pair with Sweat, I think that's what we need to do. And then if, like I said, if we'll be getting so much in return, we'll obviously be getting the next first, the first after that, something like that. Like if all else fails, there'll be another Caleb Williams in 2 years. They, you know what I mean? They say, oh, every fucking 2 years is a generational quarterback that you got to have. But all right, that's about it. We talked a little bit about everybody. Bedard's been balling too. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of Hawks games. I really want to, but I'm just old now. Got time to watch everything like I used to.
Yeah, I know.
I have to pick my battles.
Time is very it's against us right
I know.
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say not. Yeah, I used to just watch everything. I watch every fucking. I'd watch the replay of the Hawks game. I watched the fucking basketball game, the baseball game, all the football games, and now it's just like, I can't sit and watch it. But all righty, bear down. Bears are gonna win. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys next week. Adios, buddy. I'll talk to you
Adios.
soon.